I think that it speaks to not only the business adaptation, but the communications adaptation that companies have to go through now. Again, if you were planning to send out something to clients or customers 6 weeks ago, and you send out that same thing now, it will come across as tone deaf, because you need to make sure whatever communications you or marketing that you have, it needs to be appropriate for this environment, and you can't stop marketing your organization. You have to continue to get money in the door and customers buying your goods or services. So how do you do it in a way that's appropriate? I think that's an excellent example. Looks like somebody else is about ready to talk.
Hi, this is Kenneth Young. I was going to ask you what you thought about the methodology of letting all of your current clients know what your new business hours are, if you're available via Zoom or some other methodology depending on what your business is, and asking them in this email and other social media that you send out, ask them to share, put a share button in each one of the media content that you send out, asking them to share with their friends. Please let your friends know my pizza place is open. Please let your friends know my XYZ company is still open. What are your thoughts on that method?
Yep, I think that's great. Anytime you can deputize somebody else to carry the water for you, that's a good thing. I think it just depends on the business. Pizza company, you bet. Hey, we're open, we're delivering. We've put in place additional safety and sanitary processes to make sure that the food you and your family consume are safe. And please share with anybody and everybody.
I know even McDonald's reached out to the media and asked them to let people know that if you're a truck driver, we'll actually bring the food out to your truck on the curb, so you don't have to get out of your truck and try to come in or challenge yourself with a place to park.
Yeah, that's great. That made another item pop into my head. I was talking yesterday to several reporters and editors in local newsrooms, and they are all working remotely. So you may have seen this on the 6 o'clock news. They're either anchoring at a distance.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
They are.
Thank you for all you do for
Hey,
us.
Patricia, can you go on mute?
Sit on your own.
Thank you. So they're either anchoring the newscast at a distance, maintaining appropriate social distancing, or they're working remotely. In fact, one said there are no people in their building right now, and they're doing it all remotely, which I'd imagine Beasley, I think it was Sharon who said something about that. I'm guessing that they're doing that as well. So everybody is changing and adapting.
This is Subhash. This is Chandra Bose from Flames India Restaurant. We have like around 6 employees, full-time employees, and we reduce the hours. And we are cleaning we are sanitizing the restaurant, and we are doing like takeouts, and we're giving some 15% discount. And we are also doing like a delivery to the Uber, and even I have one of my employees want to do that. And we are just controlling the budget, but we are getting like a very good response from the South Tampa community. I just want some suggestions for you, like any more suggestions, better suggestion I can do.
Thanks for sharing. This is Brianna Bean with Jerry Ulm, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. I wanted just to say we actually got takeout from Flames the other night, and it was phenomenal. Your to-go was great. It was hot, delicious. So everybody definitely enjoy Flames during this time. It's good leftover too.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Do it.
I can kind of give an aspect from my business. Can you hear me?
And you want to load at 8:30 in Wichita?
Okay. We do mortgages, we do lending, and I can tell you that we have a lot of questions regarding the market and everything going up and down. Are people still in the market to refinance, the people still looking to purchase because of everything that's going on. What we've been doing is we've been doing Zoom, just like this, conversations with our realtors, with our business partners, and answering a lot of questions because there's so much uncertainty out there that it's freaking people out. So as far as we're concerned, that's what we're doing to try to keep our social distancing, but still be able to reach out to our clients and reach out to our customers and make Facebook posts and do all kinds of social media posts. Yes, we're on Twitter. I know it's an old thing, but we still do that because it's what people have right now. It's our new normal.
Excellent. That's great. And what is the, just curious in the industry, and not that you can speak for the entire industry, but what's the kind of company line, if you will, that we expect a recovery quickly? Is there any kind of coalescence around a particular view of what's going to happen?
Right now, we are not seeing anything slow down. The realtors that we do work with are actually giving us an abundance of loans because people are moving quickly because of where the market is right now. Nothing has slowed down. A lot of our realtors are actually doing virtual tours of their houses, which is unique and interesting to see. A lot of them are social media savvy and they can do that. So no, we haven't seen a slowdown. My boss, Jim Hennessy, who's been in this industry since the 80s, said that, you know, he's never seen anything. It was similar to the crash, but he doesn't foresee this happening because of the direction that we're going. It's different. It's just he's seen an influx in purchasing, and then it slows down. But we don't see it slowing down anytime soon.
Interesting. Just a reminder, if you're not speaking, please mute. We've got some conversation going on in the background. Thank you for whoever just muted. Yeah, I think that's really really interesting, and obviously with the stimulus package passing and interest rates being historically low, you can see that the wheels of the federal government and local governments are grinding to try to help as much as they can. Other comments or questions or best practices or observations?
Darren, my name is Tracy, and I own Hydroglow Cleaning and Floor Care, and we're a deep cleaning company. And other than, I'm asking a question, other than putting out on Facebook or emailing our clients to let them know we are still in business and we are available to sanitize and deep clean restaurants, for example, or any commercial business that's out there. And a lot of them are closed right now due to the virus. What do you suggest, or how do you suggest we reach out to these clients and say, hey, we are still in business and we can help you? Other than Facebook or email, do you have any other suggestions we can reach out to clients or potential clients to let them know we're in business and we can help you?
Yeah, I think the Facebook and email are good. Certainly an email campaign, if you've got a good customer list, which I'm sure you do, that would probably be a pretty effective way. I would also, you can create, and I don't know if there's any digital marketing folks online who could weigh in on this too, but you can certainly through, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter, create certain profiles of the types of businesses that you would want to target, and then create a campaign around that, and then directly feed those audiences. And those are extremely efficient in terms of cost. You know, a couple of $100 will get you a tremendous amount of reach. The other thing you may think about, and this isn't the answer for everybody, but because of the unique services your company offers and how in demand I would imagine they're going to be, if I get it, a lot of the businesses you work with are closed, but as they reopen, they're going to want to make sure their customers and employees are safe. So you may have an opportunity for what is called earned media, which is reaching out to the Tampa Bay Times or the Business Journal, local TV stations, and just saying, hey, this is a service that we offer. We can show you how we would deep clean a business. and what deep cleaning really means. And that would be a way to educate the public, provide a good public service, and then maybe also drive some business.
Hey Tracy, it's Kelly. There's some great resources that we're doing through the chamber right now as well. So keep in mind, we have our hashtag Open for Business campaign that we're doing through our social media channels. So if you have something that you're pushing out, if you will tag us in it, we will share that out on your behalf with our followers. You're also able to upload information on our website that we can push out for you. I wrote a note to just send you an email with a couple quick ideas. In addition to that, if you log into your member portal, there's actually a way that you can message other members, and you can do that by industry. So specifically, if you're looking to target restaurants or things like that, you can log into the member portal and utilize online tools that way through the chamber. But I'll shoot you an email with that information, and that's a great opportunity for us to make sure that we're getting that information out to the membership at large. There's also a few people that have commented to you in the group chat on the right-hand side of your screen, so make sure you check that as well.
Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate all the help.
Hey, one other thought on that too is just making sure that your website is updated. Any message that you have pre-COVID probably doesn't make a lot of sense, and it can be as simple as a banner at the top of the website that just says, hey, for deep cleaning services in response to COVID-19, click here, and then have your team build out just a nice little offering sheet, if you will, on here's the deep cleaning services that we offer. But that's a good lesson for others. We've advised many of our clients who have COVID will have a direct impact on their business. If you look at your website, is it really as updated as it needs to be? And if you don't have the resources to do it because you're so busy running around trying to keep your business in business, you should probably deputize somebody to take a look at that and at least update it. We've got a client, and I won't say the industry, but it's in the health. Well, I will say the industry. It's in the healthcare industry. And it's a service provider, and they posted something about COVID-19 on March 15th, which is an eternity. I mean, that's a lifetime ago in this crisis. And so just make sure that you're staying on top of that.
So I have a question that's a little bit off what we've been talking about right now. My name is Bridget. I work in the event planning industry. I work for the Garden Club. My question is, people who are in the wedding industry, people who rely on social distancing to not be a thing, are people loosening up their contracts? We're living in a world of trying to postpone things because most people still want to have their event. They just want to do it safely, which obviously is the right answer. But I guess I'm just curious, what's everybody doing? Are you postponing? Are you canceling? What's everybody else got going on?
I can see we're doing, as far as events are concerned, we typically put on lunch and learns, and obviously we can't do that. Capitol Grill can't have people there, or wherever, but we are doing them virtually, which I don't know. I was trying to think of a way to implement to where maybe we can get takeout from somewhere, or we can get something delivered from somewhere, so we're all having not the same thing, but we can all do it similar. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but we are doing all of our events virtually for right now.
Yeah, this is, Doug, it looks like you want to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I'd unmuted, but yeah, go ahead and say something. No, the person that was talking a bit about the deep cleaning, as soon as she said about businesses being cleaned, the red light that went off in my head was absolutely. So if businesses are closed and there's no employees there anyway, that would be a perfect time to let somebody come in and deep clean so that when you come back, you know that there's nothing there. I mean, even, you're not trying to, build on a fear factor, but it's just a fact of life. So I think that that would be her angle on that. The other thing is, I was thinking, as the last person was speaking about the Zoom meetings, what I have found is that some people because they're working from home, actually, it's a new normal. I found more people that are willing to do a Zoom meeting or a conference call than normally wouldn't have. They would have never have had time because they're at the office. There's a million things going on. And now that everybody's at home and looking for ways to be productive, the way that this Zoom a month ago, I couldn't have told you who Zoom was. But now, like I says, companies, my charities, my youth ministry, the church, everybody is using this Zoom. I should have bought stock in it, but too late now.
Yeah, I think a few of our lawmakers actually did that, but that's a different story for a different time. Yeah, I think in terms of event cancellation or postponement, from our perspective, from our clients, it's been a mix. So some, it's time specific to a season, and it's always, this dinner or this event, and it's always in April. Those have been canceled. The ones that can be floated have been floated. But again, everybody I think is a little unclear on how far to float them to. One of our big clients canceled everything through the end of March, and then just at the beginning of this week, canceled everything through mid-April as far as events. And they recognize the fact that they may have to change that. And I think that's probably a good approach rather than, for this particular client, it was a good approach, rather than delaying to a date that's 6 months down the line. They can kind of stair step this, but I think that just depends.
Alrighty, that helps. I guess I was just curious if anybody was, something you said earlier was that, oh, guys, stop. My office mates are very loud office mates. I'm so sorry, guys. Lady, quit. Some people, I guess you had mentioned that, as businesses, we're kind of victims of this as well. So I guess I'm just curious if people are completely going outside of what their contracts say. A lot of folks consider this to be kind of comparable to there being a hurricane, very, very long and drawn out hurricane. But similar to that, we postpone things. That's just usually how the wedding industry, the event industry operates, is we move things down the line. So I guess I was just curious if that's what other people are doing, photographers, caterers, makeup artists, like they're all kind of living in a weird world right now with that. And I guess I wondered if others were doing things differently too.
Hey, Bridget, it's Kelly. I can tell you that the different event venues and a lot of the hotels that we've spoken to at the chamber as our staff is making calls out are offering some type of stipulation. So if you rebook or just postpone the event within 6 months or 12 months, so that at least you're not losing the business completely. We did a virtual town hall for our restaurant members earlier this week. So what I'll do is I'll put a virtual town hall together for our event industry partners as well, to give you guys a forum to connect sometime in the next week or so that you guys can be talking about some of these issues that are specifically impacting your industry as well.
That would be awesome. Thank you, Kelly.
Absolutely. I'll get that information out. If not today, then no later than tomorrow.
And I'll jump in. I think a lot of this just goes back to, what are the best sources of information to help you make the best decision that you can. Pinellas County, this is just developing. They just ordered a stay-at-home order, or placed a stay-at-home order for the coronavirus. First Bay Area community to do that. It sounds like something is coming down the pike in Hillsborough, probably tomorrow, maybe a curfew or something along those lines. But obviously, those types of decisions will critically influence what you can or cannot do. So again, having that good source of information that you can trust. The other thing, and this is just kind of as I've consumed a lot of materials, and you guys might be seeing and hearing things too, the shutdown of everything, I think, was the initial blunt force object reaction, because our leaders didn't really know, none of us knew where this was going to go or how bad it was going to be. And the best medical advice was to stop seeing people. That's going to be the best way to stop this. Now that that has been in place for a period of time, I think there are some learnings that are going on as far as how contagious it is, what are the appropriate distancing pieces of this, where there may be more of a scalpel approach rather than just the machete. And I think that, again, this is where you kind of, unfortunately, the politics bleeds into this a little bit, that I think there's been some unelegant descriptions of what one side is doing and the other side is doing. And that's where you've got to just try to cut through all the BS to get to, okay, what is the truth here? And again, that's why this should be easy to see and hear and read. And unfortunately, it's just not.
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time right now trying to follow the CDC guides plus whatever Hillsborough County is putting out, just because that's where we're located. And then we get kind of curious about, well, Pinellas County does obviously a lot of stuff as well within the same industry that I'm in. So then we get curious about what's going on there. So yeah, I'm kind of that, for lack of a better way to describe it, I sort of feel like that crazy person that's switching between different news outlets and switching between different Facebook Live things as to whatever county is talking at what times, just kind of biting my nails off, waiting for the next piece of info. So it's kind of fascinating that, yeah, there doesn't seem to be a good, okie dokie folks, here's all the info right here in this one spot.
Hey, Bridget, it's Kelly. We are trying to provide information for you guys as best we can. We do have a resources page on the Chamber website. I can tell you that yesterday we had about 10 Chamber CEOs from Hillsborough County that had a conversation with Mayor Castor. And we've all been reaching out to our individual county commissioners, encouraging them as a group to kind of lead us in one direction, whichever direction that may be. So we are working on that behind the scenes from an advocacy perspective. And I do have a call scheduled on Friday with Chamber CEOs from about a 10-county region through the Florida Association of Chamber Professionals. So there is a lot of work we're doing on the backside, trying to get information and resources to your point so that you don't have to be stretched so thin going in different places. And we'll try to get some more information pushed out as soon as we have some hard answers for you guys.
Yeah, the emails that you guys put out right now have been great. Those have been a huge help for me because that's usually where I start.
Awesome. Anybody else with any other comments or questions or observations or best practices you want to share?
Darren? Darren, Gary Dalton.
Hi, Gary.
How are you? Wanted to ask, I guess, one, make a comment, and two, ask a question. With regard to, I'm a family law attorney and also a mediator. And sorry for Oliver barking in the background. But the courthouse, of course, has extremely limited access now. And so in my area of law, which is divorce, not a whole bunch is able to go on right now, and the mediation in the courthouse is closed. So I sent out an eye contact message to other family lawyers yesterday, agreeing to lower my rates to match courthouse mediation and to do virtual mediations. So because I think more in this time, it's so much more important for everyone to resolve their disputes in mediation, because it's going to be a little time before you can do anything in court right now. So that's a comment. The other thing, of course, is some of you know, I'm running for judge right now, and probably the last thing that anyone wants to hear from is a political candidate. What advice would you have, Darren, for communicating with voters, being that an election is coming up in 4 months?
Yeah, that is an excellent question. And I think at a national level, you've seen Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders struggle with this, what is appropriate to say or do. There was actually a pretty good example, I thought, this morning from Harry Cohen, who's running for county commission. he sent out a note. I thought it was a little too long, but I thought that the tone overall was good, which was, hey, I'm not writing you today to say, give me money or come to my event when this is all over. I'm just writing to say, hey, I'm struggling with all of you, and I'm with you, and I'm thinking of you. And I think something like that seemed to be appropriate to me. Again, that's one person's opinion. So maybe there are others who would receive an email like that and find it somehow upsetting. But I thought he struck a nice tone of, I'm just writing to say hello.
I did get his email, and I thought it was a good email. You're probably right; it was a little too long, and I was thinking about sending something out like that, or doing a Facebook boost with some type of message. I also saw another political candidate was trying to have a virtual fundraiser, which kind of turned me off a little bit. But at what point do you think that political candidates, it'll be appropriate to have fundraisers again? What's your thought on that?
I don't know. I think it depends. It just depends on how this all shakes out. I mean, you've got some markers out there for early to mid-April that we want to be back to normal. I don't know how realistic that is. My personal opinion is I don't see this as a light switch where it switches on and everything's back to normal. To me, this, as we've learned more about this disease, what can we open up safely? And then what's next after that, and what's next after that. So I think it might be one of these that it slowly builds back to normal. And I think you're just going to have to follow that curve, talk to your advisors, and make the best decision that you can. And if it feels like this may not be entirely appropriate, that's probably a time to go with your gut.
Appreciate your thoughts.
Hi, Darren. I have a quick question. I had typed it in the chat, but I can say it here. It'll be easier. How would you say would be the best way, or how could we share our press release? I work for a local nonprofit, Dawning Family Services, and we figured people would want to hear how we are helping the community, since we're not just, your car insurance, but people want to know how we're still helping the families in our shelter. And so we sent that press release out with a pitch email to different media contacts, and I haven't heard anything back. I'm just wondering if if there's any other way to kind of maybe get some attention on that. I did kind of draft the email to be that this could be a good story and kind of frame it that way. Do you have any other tips on sort of getting a press release out and maybe getting some attention on that?
Yeah, it sounds like you did. I haven't seen the pitch or the what you sent them, but as long as you're looking at it from the standpoint of the media outlet on the pitch, they're looking for a good story. They are just as tired of COVID-19 as we are. They would like something new and interesting and fresh. So, if you didn't, if you review it and you think, oh, I could have done this a little bit better, you might just repitch it. We're working for a couple of clients now that do have some products and services that are particularly relevant. And, we do media pitching all the time. We've got background in the business, and we swing and miss all the time. And there is no shame in that. Media relations, as I say a lot, is like pushing rope. You can only push the rope so far, and then some media outlet or reporter on the other end has to grab it. And sometimes it's just you catch them at the wrong time. They're busy with another assignment, or they did a story similar to the one that you're pitching, and so they feel it's not relevant. So I think you just go back to the plate again. If you send it to emails, you might try a couple of phone calls. Problem is, as I mentioned before, most newsrooms now are operating remotely. So calls to a main newsroom number might go unanswered or go into voicemail hell. So you might look for cell phones, or if you've got a reporter that you've worked with in the past, you might just reach out to that person via their cell.
Thank you, Darren. I did happen to see on the Tampa Bay Times on their website, a lot of reporters actually share their email and I think their personal cell phone. So that's actually a really great tip. Thank you.
You bet. Well, Kelly, we're a little past noon. So like you said, I think we want to be respectful of everybody's time. Anything you want to jump in on?
I just want to say thank you so much to you, Darren. When we reached out last week, you were so quick to reply and to come and provide this information for our members. So thank you so much. And Darren is with Tucker Hall. And you can find all of their information on their website as well as on the Chamber's website. So if your business is in need of some of these services at a higher level, we encourage you to consider some Chamber members such as Tucker Hall who provide these services. I will leave this meeting open for another half an hour. So if there's members who want to be able to connect with each other, I'm going to unmute the group. I'll leave it open for another half hour. Darren and myself may hop off, but it'll give you all the opportunity to continue to connect. Feel free to continue to type stuff in the group chat and or to just speak out and chat with each other. And again, we did record this webinar and we'll have that up to the website in the next day or so as well, in case you want to be able to share this out with your teams. But thank you so much to everyone. We do still have 2 more virtual events scheduled for this week. Tomorrow is a virtual happy hour. We don't know how that's going to go. It might be mass chaos, but we have a couple activities planned for you, but it's meant just as a fun opportunity towards the end of the week. Knowing that everybody needs to let off a little steam. And then Friday morning, we'll have coffee with the CEO. It is limited to 20 people. You should have gotten an email this morning. But if you have an interest in having a more intimate conversation with myself and some other members, feel free to join us Friday morning. But thank you again to Darren and Tucker Hall, and I hope all of you have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Darren.
Thank you. Kelly, I see that this meeting's being recorded. Are you going to post this